on there as well. So if the IG is acting up, of course you can go to there. People that's on my YouTube, if you are signed in on the live chat, you will not be able to see or hear people that's on Instagram. And people on IG, you will not be able to really see the comments or hear anybody on YouTube, but everything will post to my YouTube as well.
Well, if somebody come on your live, it'll be on the speaker, so it'll come through the.
It'll come through there.
So they'll still be able to hear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
straight.
Okay, that'll work.
So you got a few
Hey, Uncle Mark. Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to speak on pretty much how your family secrets and lies and stuff can affect you. There's a lot of that going on. Y'all know we have a lot of that going on in our family. It's some things that need to be aired out, resolved, and it needs to be taken care of so you can start your healing. And it's for my people that's in their healing journey. You do become wounded, you have a lot of pain, you have a lot of trauma and things of that nature that does come from our family. It's a lot of them comes from our grandmothers, our mother, our fathers, and so on and so on. And then eventually we can pass it on to our kids. So it's important for us to take heed of those things and try to stop it and break the cycle. So me, I went through a spiritual awakening back in 2020. And a lot of people may not be familiar with that, but a lot of trauma and pain that I went through from a child all the way up until, I got married 3 times. So I will say my 3rd marriage is where my wake-up call came from, for me to get up, because it's time to figure out what's going on with Candace. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have been through that. Some of you guys are going through that. Don't be scared to figure it out, work it through. Don't be scared to talk to somebody. Don't be afraid to be transparent and try to get those issues resolved, because other than that, it's just going to cause you more and more pain. Sorry, you guys. I'll turn my phone down.
So you gave him a breakdown.
I'm sorry. I'll turn it down a little bit. My journey, when I started my journey, the first things first was digging deep into Candace, trying to see what's going on with me and why is it that everything was happening the way that it was happening. Pretty much all my life, I've been a happy child through my childhood. I was pretty, good. I got good grades. I did get in trouble a little bit. I was fighting a lot, but for the most part, I was pretty cool. I was okay until I started getting into my older, I'll say maybe around like my 20s. I started having a lot of issues with identity. I was having issues with people pleasing, being codependent, caring about what people were saying about me. That's when a lot of my things started happening, and it kind of spiraled out of control, and I went into a dark space. To you guys, it probably looked as though I was happy, that I had everything was going on, and a lot of us, we cover that up. We cover it up at the fact that we have things going on internally that we don't want to deal with, but you have to deal with it.
Did you want to take phone calls?
I can. We can take phone calls, y'all. If y'all don't want to come on here and request, y'all can request me to come on as well and talk. But we also got a phone number y'all can call too, and y'all can ask questions on the phone line. Hey, Lean Boo. So how do we do that?
It's just phone number.
So I can post it?
Yeah, it's 313-444.
Oh, y'all can call 313. I think I can type it on here,
You can type it on there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to type in the phone.
Type it on there and then pin it in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's type it, y'all. Let's see. Y'all know I don't know how to use this. I'm just trying today.
So just like put in call-in number and then it's, and that'll be cool too. So if they don't want to be on the IG shit, they can just call in.
Okay, what is it?
313-444-3032.
313. 3032. And then when I hit post,
3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. 3032. Yeah. And then hold it down, and then it should give you the option to pin.
Yep, say pin comment. Okay, you guys, I did put a phone number up there just in case you guys don't want to visually call on here on IG. You can call on that phone number. You can talk to me on there as well.
That's dope. Right,
I know. So back to what I was saying about, and people that just not signed on, we're pretty much talking about how secrets, family secrets and lies can affect you. It can also affect your healing. It can affect a lot of things, your relationships, your marriages, a lot of things can be affected. And I'm here to pretty much tell my story because I want you to use my story as a guide, because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that has went through the things that I'm going to be saying, and you just don't know where to start. You don't know who to talk to. A lot of people are embarrassed about it, and there's no reason to be embarrassed. I was embarrassed about a lot of things. I didn't want to talk to anybody about it. I was just feeling like I was going to be judged. A lot of people feel like they're going to be judged. That's why I tell you, if you speak to me, I'm not here to judge you. I can't judge you. I have a lot of stuff that I did, whether it was good, bad, toxic behavior, bad relationships, things I did in my relationships that caused a lot of the issues that I'm going through, that I did go through. So when I eventually started my healing process or whatever, I had to sit down and look at Candace. I had to stop pointing at people. I did a lot of pointing, a lot of finger pointing. And then I noticed that it didn't do anything. It didn't help me. It made things worse because I was actually enabling myself from actually seeing the things that I was doing to cause a lot of issues. Whether it was gossiping. Oh my goodness, I was caught up in a lot of gossiping and stuff. I know you guys have these jobs that you guys work at. Y'all had these people around there gossiping and doing. A lot of us get caught up in that, and it's not good. I found myself getting into it with a lot of people at my job. I was getting into it at home with my husband. I was getting into it with my family members. It was just so much stuff that was just bottled up, and I never understood why. I was playing the victim for a long time, thinking everybody's just doing this to me. Everybody don't like me, and and you thinking that. I had one girl at the job when I was in Atlanta working at Emory. One girl there that just continued, and I just thought this girl was just picking on me. I'm like, almost got me fired, y'all. Really. And I couldn't figure out why was she just kept bothering me. And now that I look back, I didn't have any boundaries. I didn't have no boundaries set. I didn't love myself. It was a lot of that, and I thought I did. A lot of people think they do love themselves until you start going through situations in your life and you like, why do I keep spiraling out of control? Why do I keep on having these bad relationships? Why do my family members keep doing things to me? They owing me money, not paying me back, just all over the place. But once you sit down and you realize that you played a huge part in a lot of the things that went on with your life, oh my goodness, that's when your peace begins. I know you guys probably see me now while I'm totally different. It's a whole 360 degrees in what you've seen from the old Candace. So I have to pretty much reintroduce myself to the world now because I am a different person. My head is in a different space. My heart is totally open in a different space. I had to sit down, forgive myself. I had to forgive my husbands. I had to forgive my mother. I had to forgive my father. Anybody in my family that I feel as though caused me any type of pain or may have said something to me back when I was a child. Words stick. And when your family members say things when you're smaller and you're little, it carries on with you. So it's a lot of things that was said to me when I was younger by family members, and it stuck with me, and I carried it all the way through. And instead of me trying to recognize the issue, I took it and I went with it. And I did a lot of things out of character, being codependent and trying to be validated by people. So that was a huge issue for me when it came to that.
Now, I know you mentioned about, things stemming from your childhood. I guess we could jump right on.
Go ahead, let's go.
So, this was initially what we were, talking about is those childhood or, those family secrets or those lies that kind of either we tried to forget about, kind of compartmentalize them, I guess would be the word for it, and how they affect not only your healing, but something I was thinking about earlier is it affects your relationships. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
that's a main thing. So even aside from it being, maybe if it's not a lie, maybe it's not a secret, but it's just something that you're, carrying on. I guess with that question, and I know you mentioned about family secrets and lies and stuff. What does the healing process, or rather, is the healing process the only thing that makes you kind of go back and kind of go through those things? Because like if you weren't trying to heal, wouldn't you just forget about that stuff? Like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you weren't trying to heal, like, what do you
Yep.
think would cause you to even take a look at that stuff that you compartmentalized or tried to leave behind?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I mean, it's like everybody doesn't get it. So everybody has their moment when they wake up. Some people had an opportunity to just know, like, I'm tired. And you're just tired of things.
Right.
Me, that's where mine came from. I just was
tired.
tired. Yeah. I was ready to surrender. And here I am. I was, 36? So that was, 2 years ago? So I was 36. So it took 36 years for me to surrender and say, I'm tired. I don't want to go through this no more. My marriage is just crazy. I shouldn't be going through that. It was a lot of things. And just to go back and just realize how much I didn't love myself and how much I didn't have any healthy boundaries. So everybody was like walking over that. I didn't know how to say no. I always told everybody, yeah, so that's how you become codependent.
No is a powerful word.
Oh, for sure.
I think that more people should take advantage of.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely know now, and you become at peace. When you become at peace, it's a lot of people that's not even going to come in your path anyway.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you won't have to worry about.
That's for sure. Don't forget, if you're listening on the live feed right now, you do have the option of commenting below, and we will read your question live on the air. Also, you have the option of giving us a call at 313-444-3032. You can go ahead with your story. I just had to. When you said something about that,
that's my producer of the year. You got to get y'all together over there.
Yeah. When you said something about it, I figured we might as well just kind of jump into that. But yeah, just go ahead. You can continue on with your story for people who might not be familiar.
And also, well, let's go back, because I was kind of jumping all over the place, just naming a lot of things. But to give you to where I am now and understanding, I had to sit down for about 6 months to a year. I had to sit down and actually, as I always say, sit in my shit and sit there and realize all the things that I did. Me, nobody else. We've been pointing fingers for a very long time, and y'all know how I am about the pointing fingers. I make videos about it. I talk about it on my podcast. Pointing fingers will not get you anywhere. You are enabling yourself from healing and moving forward past anything. I knew as a child, the relationship with my father was not all that great. Him and my mom were not together. They were separated. So that caused a lot of problems. Kids, of course, have issues when their parents are separated, especially when the father's out of the household. It was kind of like my dad had a hard time connecting with me, not being in the household. Him being in the household with my other sisters and brothers, it was more like I felt like I was an outsider. Like, dang, do I even exist in this man's world? And the things that took place was like I felt abandoned. When I did call my father a lot and try to talk to him, try to have some type of relationship with him, it just never was the connection. It was never there. And he would come around, don't get me wrong. He'll come around, he'll buy stuff, he'll buy shoes and stuff, but it was always financial. It wasn't really that conversation that girls really, really need. A lot of us need our fathers to be in our lives and have that conversation. And y'all know those conversations, those hard ones. Anytime I had a breakup or it was a issue with a guy, I always tried to talk to him, but it was always my fault. So instead of it being soothing and talking to me, in that manner, like it's going to be okay, or trying to give me guidance, it was always a negative response, or it was always, well, what did you do? Or it was always my fault. And I never understood why that was happening. So eventually, I'll say about the last 4 to 5 years, I had just determined that my dad just was not going to be a part of my journey or in my life, because it was disturbing my peace. And I couldn't understand why. I felt like I was chasing to find love from my father. And if you have to chase your parents to try to find love and you feel abandonment,
Yeah, that's a tough situation, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you is it possible? I guess is the question. Is it even possible to address that at a younger age? And I only ask that because I think for the most part, parents, and I don't know if they do this intentionally, but parents don't even really respect our conversation until a certain point. So like, even though you may have noticed it, let's say you kind of in a few episodes you mentioned how your son is way further along, than his age would say. But most parents will never actually see it that way and won't even listen to their kid while they're trying to tell them something.
Yeah.
Like in that situation, especially as a parent, I guess obviously you had to overcome that because he's probably told you some things that kind of got you together.
Yep.
And in the back of your head, though, a little bit, you probably was like, "What you know? You ain't been, you know what I'm saying?" But like, how do you get past it though?
Yeah.
Like, cause that's on both sides. So that's whether you feel like you're mature enough to have a conversation with your parent, but it's also is that parent mature enough to accept that from a kid? Yeah, for sure.
When I did try to talk to my dad, I was a lot older. I was probably about 30 when I really tried to have that conversation with him. And I was in like my second marriage, and it still didn't work. Yeah. He didn't want to accept the fact that a lot of things that he did contributed to the way I was feeling. Yeah. Like he just was like, you know, more like you act like your mom. You know, it was always that. And that's you act like your mom. You always trying to control stuff. You don't listen. So I will say probably some of the time I may not have listened to a lot of things, but he never let me talk either. That's so yeah, and I'm just literally just having a conversation with my mom, you know what I'm saying, right. A few weeks ago, telling her how I was never heard. You know, no one was ever hearing me talk when I tried to say something or whatever, and I always got cut off. So that's what made me talk so much more. Yeah. You know, and even when I got into that part of it, getting into my marriages, I started to try to take over the conversations and try to talk so much because I was used to not being heard anyway.
You're like, here's my chance.
Yeah. So I take off, get to talking and run to my mouth because I'm like, no one ever listened to me. Yeah. So when you get to that point, it's like, man, so that's why I had to really sit down and realize, like, man, this is not what's up. Yeah. Like something is going on.
So again, you mentioned that. So about not being heard, as a child in that family setting, did you took that same feeling into adult relationships? Like, you better hurry up and say what you got to say because they might not let you talk, kind of thing. That's crazy though, right? That's crazy though, right?
You're not used to being heard, you're gonna keep talking.
And when you look at it in hindsight, it looked like, damn, that was crazy. But like while you was doing it though, it seemed like it made sense because like all this time you wasn't able to say nothing. So here's my chance.
Yep, and then I didn't allow I didn't understand what submission was. So control is what was programmed in my head was they're trying to control me. Yeah. Nope, I gotta take control of everything. They not gonna let me talk. They not gonna let me do this. Nope. So it was like I had that barrier and that wall. So it made it hard for them to even really connect with me. Yeah. So that's why they would say, "Oh, you seem as if you don't even need a man, or you act as if you don't need me." Right. And it was like I was always just by myself. I took care of myself. So like I said, my mom, she was a police officer. She was always working. She really didn't have too much, time. My mom was raising me and my brother on survival mode. For sure. As I was saying, when your parents are on survival mode,
as most of us are,
they're going to miss a lot, and I was too. So when I had my son, I ended up going into survival mode as well because that's the only thing I knew. Like, make sure you got a house, food, you got clothes, but we ain't thinking about baseball games. You got this, you got that. Yeah. Oh, I got a game, Mom. I got to go to work. Oh, I got a game I'm going to be at work. Yeah. It was always that, and I knowing how much that was crushing my child. Yeah. And I was like, wow. So my son also had the opportunity to see how my father, his pattern and how he was doing things. It made my son a little resentful against his own grandfather. Yeah. Like literally to this day, I don't even think they really talked on the phone. My son, 20 years old. Yeah. He cannot tell you how many times he had a conversation with my father. Yeah. Maybe twice. Damn. Like, especially in his teenage years and stuff, like my dad kept him when he was a kid, like he was a baby, and that was about it. After probably age 9, it was over with. Which is honestly a little odd, and I only say this because I do know that from experience, I've known some horrible fathers who no, like seriously, and who at some point
understood that they, you know, they did a lot of things wrong with their kid. So then they become like the ultimate grandfather.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of surprising that he would actually do it 2 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, this is not a knock on, you know, him and, you know, specifically, but it's just men in general. Usually once you figure out something, like oftentimes they way too good to the grandkid, and you almost get a little jealous, like, dog, you ain't treat me like that.
Yeah.
But like, I'm almost surprised that he didn't take the opportunity, because like, for me, I think being a bad, or I won't say a bad father, or just not being the father that you could have been, once you have a grandkid, this is like a chance for redemption.
Chance. Yeah, I think my mom, she's going through that right now.
Yeah.
She's going through that with my son. I noticed when he came into the world, it was like, dude, nothing else mattered.
I get a fresh start.
It was like, she used to be telling me, she was like, the love that you have for a grandchild is totally different. She's like, I love you.
Yeah.
But him, she was like, I'll die for him. Yeah. I'll go to jail for him and everything. I said, well, damn, you want to go to jail for me? You don't die for me?
So
but
you just
it's different. Yeah, she had a different experience, you know, with my son. So he's like the brat, and he's the only grandchild that she has. So, you know, my dad has, I think I got about 24 nieces and nephews. So he got probably 24 grandkids, you know what I'm saying, for him. Yeah. And as far as the secrets and the lies part, when it comes from that, and let me make this clear, this is not to bash out my father by any way necessary, okay? This is just me telling things that can actually affect you later on if you don't deal with it. I had other siblings that was around that I didn't know anything about. You know, that affecting, you already know, because you know my brother Dale. Hey, bro. He wasn't even around until I was 11, I think. I was 11 years old when I found out about him. Dale was 18. Yeah. And that's one other thing that kind of, it affected him. It affected us as well, because we only thinking it's about, what was it? We thought it was only 5 of us at that time. Then we got number 6. We got another brother. And I'm like, dang, we young. We don't really understand. We trying to figure out where he come from. You know what I mean? So we meet him.
Like, who is dog?
But it also affected my brother in a different way. Because of whatever was told to him. We don't know. I have no clue. I won't disclose that. But whatever was told to him about, nah, this is your father. And he come out looking just like us. You know, that is like, okay, that's one hit. Then I found out I got another sister back 2011. She stay in Alabama. She older than me. I'm thinking I'm the oldest daughter. I got one older than me. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang. So that's 2 siblings that I got that's older than me I done found out about. I'm like, okay, so then 2014, 15, boom, here come my little brother. He 20. Oh, Lord, Dondre, don't kill me. I have no clue. I think my little brother's like 27. Somewhere, he might be 29. I don't know. But that's another one.
He ain't 30 yet.
Yeah, he ain't 30 yet.
I got you.
So I'm like, damn, I'm a middle child, for real.
Right, real live middle child.
Yeah, and I'm like, dang, those type of things right there, that affected me, and it affected us, because to this day, I don't really get an opportunity to see those outside siblings like that. You know, and my dad didn't make it his business to close that gap with us. You know, and I wish that it could have happened that way, because things could have, you know, went a little bit differently. So I'm not even going to say, I would say that it is secrets. You know, and it affected everybody, because it's like my sister, she's not really that close to us like that. She kind of stay in her loop where she is. She has 3 other siblings by her mother that was in her household. Dale got 8 other siblings, you know what I'm saying, by his mom. And then my other brother, he has 3 or 4 siblings or whatever by his mom. So it's like, you know, my dad is connecting us, but we're not all talking like that. You know, that's a big problem.
I mean, it's a problem, but it's like, I mean, obviously you want to overcome that because it's still family, but at the end of the day, it's asking a lot for, especially when you're talking about, you know, people relatively had their own lives up until, you know, whatever point this is that we all, you know, become acquainted. And it's like, it's a lot. So, and I understand. So, you know, we're speaking, you know, candidly here, obviously. So I had a similar situation. My brother obviously was younger than me. And it was a, you know, it was a child outside my, you know, my old folks' marriage or whatever. We were young, so I guess I kind of didn't have to deal with it, and like he was like out of town type situation, so I didn't really have to deal with it until like later on. Then we started forging our own relationship, which actually was good. You know what I'm saying? Like it was actually good. And then he ended up passing away, oddly enough, right? So we had just started, getting our relationship together. I was kind of mad about that. I'll be honest with you. I was upset with God, all that stuff. Well, seriously, when stuff happened and you start questioning, all that good stuff. So we won't get into that. That's a whole nother conversation. But so that happened, and then to be honest with you, I think, and shit, I'm 43 now. I think I was 42 at the time. We ended up going to Mississippi for his funeral. And this was probably going to be like maybe the first serious time as an adult that we were going to be in close proximity and spend a lot of time with his mama, right? So this was a thing. You know what I'm saying? This was a thing. And to be quite honest with you, it was a little bit unnerving. It's like, all right, so now we really have to face this. Like, right? So at first it's like it's in your head and it's conversation, but now it's like this is real life.
We got a deal.
And to be honest with you, it's like it was crazy because me and my sister had the experience that we never thought that we would. Like we were truly going in and through it, and we was good after that. And to be honest with you, and it's crazy to say it, and I know she'll agree if she's watching this. For it to be a funeral. We had a good ass time.
Good.
Like, we really did it like...
At least it wasn't, a whole bunch of chaos, because funerals bring out a lot of chaos.
It does. And a lot of questions that I had in my head, a lot of, things that I guess I've been harboring at that point. They had to manifest at that point because we were in physical, contact. And we was good. And I was proud of that moment. Like, because honestly, I didn't know what to think. Like, we kind of going into... going into that place made us have to rehash all those old memories of what my mom went through.
Yep.
So then you got to start thinking, is it disrespectful to my mama to be doing all of that stuff? And like my mom's passed away, so now it's like, oh gosh, she did. How we doing this? All that goofy shit. But then it's like, as a human being, it's the kind of things that you have to go through. And for my old man, I felt like for my old man, I had to do that because like. For dudes, even though like we went through this whole process, we never really having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So
never really talked about it.
So for this whole situation, we drove them down there and did all that stuff. I think it was therapeutic for all three of us, and we didn't even realize it. And I really, 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 really hate that my brother had to pass away for that to happen.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too.
But at the end of the day, it worked out in all of our favor, and I was so proud of him though, because he's young and he was the one who initiated this, getting back together kind of thing. Because like even with him and my old man, it was always kind of a strained relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the communication. Like my old man just don't communicate well. All that good stuff. But so I commend him for being younger and initiating this. Yeah, like he was coming up from Mississippi to come visit us. I had never been to Mississippi. He had been up to us. I'm like, damn, he the youngest.
Damn, I didn't even know nothing about him when you posted him. I was like, like, what?
And he the youngest, so I was like, I commend him for, for making that step. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to my brother, dog. But those things you honestly have to, as you say, sit in your shit. You have to deal with those things head on, and it can be scary.
Yeah, it can be scary. And I think too, my other my three outside siblings that I had just met, I think they were running as well from even trying to connect because they didn't know what to expect. And I get it. Yeah. It's like, I've been living my life all this time. These are the siblings that I'm used to and I know. And now I got a whole gang of, other siblings coming from my father's side of the family. That's scary. Yeah. And I put myself in their shoes and see, okay, if it was me on the outside, how would I feel? I would probably be mad at my mother or, something like that, for not even letting me know what's going on because we can all actually be together and be connected. Yeah. But for some reason, all of us just keep on here. Yeah. And it's like I came home last year when I got here and I tried to bridge that gap and it just went, and it's just getting further and further and further. Yeah. And I'm like...
I mean, it gets to a point where, people are in their mode of life and whatever it is. And sometimes even though you have the best intentions, it just family and everything. Like even though you have the best intentions, sometimes it's just everybody can't go.
I love my siblings. I love y'all to death. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And this is nothing putting our business out there or nothing, but it's facts and it's true. Like we need to be able to talk. Yeah. We have to. We got to talk. Y'all, we got to heal. We have a lot of childhood trauma that we are dealing with. And it seems like out of all the siblings, I am totally the first one to break the cycle. It's not going past me.
Yeah.
And I mean that.
Say that's it.
That's it. Like, I mean, anybody else up under me, hey, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. They old enough. Everybody is grown to face their shit at this point. Yeah. Everybody done been through a whole hell of a lot. We all have.
For sure.
And I just feel like it's time out. Yeah. It is. You got to get your peace. Like, why would you want to still continue to just be just mad and just be in pain for a long time? Like, it's like people was getting a kick out of that. And I was entertaining that shit.
Right.
I didn't even know. I was entertaining it. I'm not entertaining it. And I'm not going to baby nobody. You need to sit in your shit and just realize that it's a lot of things going on. It's you.
Yeah.
It's you.
Wayne is checking in on YouTube right now.
What hey, Wayne.
Yeah, so it's
Wayne, you better come on IG, bro.
Right, so you can get on there.
Get on IG so I can connect you on that one.
Yeah. Don't forget
switch over.
Too, if you are wherever you're watching right now, you can actually give us a call at 313-444-3032, and you'll be actually heard live on the show. So yeah, that'll be dope. So let's go back to the family secrets and lies. So like, oftentimes secrets and even lies, I guess, are come into play because people are trying to protect other people's feelings, and especially as a kid, I guess the question is how soon, especially in the aspect of having siblings that you didn't know about, from your standpoint as a parent, because this is a tough one for me because I don't have no kids. So I'm just curious, like if you were in that situation, let's say that you had, he's 20 now, right? So let's say in between time, let's say you had an outside kid. As a parent and just like for the well-being of your child, like at what age do you think it would even be appropriate? Because you want them to, at some point you want them to know each other, but then they might be too young to just be kind of throwing all this on them. So like at what age would you think?
I would tell them immediately.
What?
I would.
No matter what age they are?
Nope, because my son's father, he has 2 other kids. That is, and it didn't happen while we was together, but my son learned about the 3rd child when he was about, he might have been 12. I'm really reaching on that age right now. I think my son was about 12. And the way that it was told to him was messed up. Literally, we was staying in Atlanta. He came down here to visit in Detroit, and his auntie ended up bringing his little brother just to her house, and my son was there, and it was just like boop.
You know this your brother, right?
It's your brother. You know what I mean? I'm like, no.
Is it a right or a wrong way to do it though? Like
that's wrong.
Is it though?
It should be a formal introduction, like this your sibling.
Like, hey, we got something to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bringing someone by here.
Yeah.
And he's
Tell
your brother.
me. Yeah.
I can't just pull up.
Nah, bro, can't just be pulling up.
This little JoJo. Your brother.
This little baby ain't nothing. No, we can't do that. It need to be actually sit down and have that conversation. Like, listen, I stepped out on your mom, or however the situation went, and I can't hold this secret no more. I gotta let you know you gotta sip something because that when I first met Dale, I was confused. Yeah. Like, where he come from? And I'm like, he 18. I'm like, I'm 11. I think I was like 11. It's like, why didn't he know my daddy was his daddy? And then he got the nerve, look just like my daddy.
He does.
And I'm like, what happened? That's confusing for a kid. That's why I was like, no, I think it should be.
Well, that's confusing on both sides in that situation.
Yeah, I'm like, no, we need to have that talk, instead of all that pop-up stuff. That's not good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it already happened to my son just that one time, but their relationship is just awesome. Yeah. It's amazing. He go pick up his little brothers. He hang with his little brothers. He do everything. So he doing his big brother duty.
No, that's what's up, though.
Yeah.
It don't always happen that well or that easy. So
Nah, well,
especially with the pop-up
so
introduction.
Smart. Yeah. My
That's your
son
brother,
is
right?
smart, and he was able to heal. You know, my son healed himself from trauma. He had trauma from me too. You know, seeing his mom getting married 3 times, and as men in and out your kid life, and he didn't understand. He felt like they was leaving him probably. He probably felt abandoned. You know, at that time, I didn't know.
Yeah,
but then I had to look back to it. Mine, I said, it was probably about the same. And if you pay attention to the things that happen to you or that's happening to you now, go back and pay attention to your parents, your daddy. You just go back and just look. It's a vicious cycle. And nobody pays attention to that. It's like you see that your grandparents and your grandmother and your granddad is together and they've been married for 60-something years.
Right.
You don't know all the shit that happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? Oh, sure. they done been through it. Because you got people that's been married. Hell, I was married. The longest I was married was 8 years. And them 8 years, you know, I didn't go through as much, but it was things. It was sacrifices. It was compromise. And I'm like, just these 8 years took me right here. Shoot, imagine if it was 60.
60 years, right. Exactly.
Like, you know, especially if somebody already set in their ways, you stubborn, people don't want to change. They don't want to compromise and all this and that and the other. And half of the time, people set in their ways anyway. True. They don't want to do none of that. So it was a lot of that coming out on that side of the family too. Like, you know, even back in the day, like thinking it's still now, you know, family on both sides of my family. It's like, why do y'all keep holding secrets? Why do y'all just keep on lying? You know, and I ain't on but it happens. And it definitely can affect you even when you're trying to heal.
Yeah, true that.
So I had to really, a lot of stuff I don't know. And the stuff that I do know, it's like I just had to let the stuff go.
Let it go.
That's the hard part, to let it go. Especially when you just know that it's there. Yeah. So, and that letting go, sometimes is letting those people go too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate though, right? Especially when you're talking about family members. That's that's unfortunate. But it's a sad truth, right? Yeah. And sometimes, and this is this is the killer right here, and some of y'all might not be prepared to hear this or understand it. Sometimes it's you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you the one got to get cut. Yeah. Because you out here on some bullshit. Yeah. Right. That's so. And a lot of people don't understand it. They so busy cutting off other people like you the one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You the one need to get cut. Yep. Don't nobody ever really want to take that, swallow that pill or, take that look into the mirror. But it's the truth. I think you got to get to a point where, especially when, I don't know, I figure when you get to our age or even a little younger, especially my age because I'm old. When you get to an older age and like you start going to more funerals than you going to baby showers and weddings, you know that people is out here dying and you really ain't got time to be trying to figure out whether it's you or them. Like the most time you need to spend is fixing yourself. Because if you fixed or if you somewhat fixed or at least attempting to fix yourself, then the company that you're around obviously reflect that. Yeah. So only person you can work on is you. Your circumstances are the only one you can really change. The way people feel, the way people communicate to you, the way whatever people do, they gonna do that regardless. Whatever you do, can't control that. Sure.
I always tell people you can only control yourself. I make sure I tell my son that too. That was one big thing. I said you can only control the things that you do. But once you do change your mindset, you change your headspace, everything. That's when you can start gaining that peace. But you gotta sit there and be able to not be scared, step out, trust the process. And that process is everything gonna be okay, whether or not your father is here, your mother is here, your siblings, whoever the case may be, everything's gonna be okay. That was the hard part for me. Yeah. So going through that cycle that's why I said healing in a relationship.
See, we're not gonna agree on that one.
We
go agree.
I'm
to
telling you
on that
one. Person. Hey, Wayne, where you at, bro? Need to check in. No, you cannot.
He's checking in right now. If y'all listening again, if you on IG Live, YouTube, or actually Facebook as well, you can actually call in with any of your questions. We'll read those questions live on the air if you comment them, or you can actually call in 313-444-3032. The number is right there on the screen. If you want to call in, and Dr. Candace will answer your questions.
It is so crazy. Haven't nobody really asked me no questions, y'all. What's going on? Right. And if y'all want to talk about something too, y'all can bring something up. Yeah. Now, I'm just freestyling today. This is going to be the I don't know. We might have to do this as the end of the episode kind of Q&A. I don't know if people went back and watched all of my episodes from 1 until now, but if you have and you got questions about it, you can ask those too.
Yeah, because this is episode 10, though. So you've been on a roll.
Yeah.
So you've been on a roll. Yeah.
Trying to take a break a little bit.
Yeah.
Boom.
It might be time for a small break, recalibrate some things. So let's talk about that, right? So it is I was about to say album number 10. It is episode number 10. So yes. 10 in. What would you say has been an area of growth in your life since episode 1 to now?
Oh man, so much growth.
Yeah.
I had to go back and I looked at a few, of the episodes, and I was like, yeah. So one thing you brought up about the expectations, you remember that? And I said, nope.
About the text messages?
Yeah.
That was like just the week before. Like, I know. You said.
Yep. But at the same time, only thing that I really got out of that was more of, you can't expect a lot of things. I was putting those expectations on things, but you cannot. Because everybody is in your own way. But if I don't like it, I can still step away from it.
You cannot deal with
it. There you go. Just because it's not what it's not in it ain't in my playbook. Yeah. That ain't what I want. So I'm still going to be like, no, regardless. Right. So that is one thing, you guys, we have to not expect things from people. Don't expect that people is going to love you the way that you want to be loved or all of that. Right. What me and Q was talking about is I had a situation where I felt as though if I was speaking to, if we were dating or I was trying to court somebody or somebody was trying to court me, do you expect phone calls or is text messaging okay all the time? And then at that time, I was like, I'm not good for a phone call. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'm not worth the phone call, and not knowing that person, that's just not their style of how they do things. Now, let's go back to, it don't have to be their style, but it's also something that I'm not going to tolerate at the same time. So that's fine. You can be that person that just texts all the time or whatever the case may be. You don't like to do phone calls for whatever your reason may be. But when it comes to me, no, I don't care for it. Yeah. I want to hear your voice. All that text message and texting ships and all of that stuff, y'all can leave that for the birds. So whoever wants to continue to do that, and I'm just being honest because that's one of my things. I just don't care for that.
I mean, I'm a texter.
I know.
Super texter.
But you answer the phone for me, though. We talk.
Sometimes.
I
call back.
I say 3, and you do.
I call back.
Well, you get to the point now, people just don't answer at all. Yeah. And they don't even call back. They don't even call you back. You know what I mean? It's
I'll at least call back. At the very least, call back.
I just feel as though this was my feeling at first was if it's not breaking you, it's not lowering your standards, it's not killing you or nothing, I'm like,
it just may be killing me.
Can I get a phone call?
It just may be killing me.
It was killing that person. So guess what I had to remove, whoever that does not go by. And that's okay. Yeah. And I had to be okay with that too, though. I couldn't be upset. And sometimes we'll get upset if you feel as though those are your expectations, but you can't do that. Right. It's not fair.
Mm. All right, so don't forget the lines are still open if you got some question to answer. Kind of just sounds like we recapping the whole season right now.
And it still ties into family lies and stuff that can affect you from your healing because there's a lot of that's in there too.
For sure. Let me ask you this then. This is a question, I think. So I think both of us just shared stories about finding out about new siblings. And that's pretty major, right? Mm-hmm. But what would you say, aside from that, what would be another major secret, like a major family secret that could like really ruin your healing situation or even just make it tough for relationships, as an adult?
It don't have to be, even if I don't know what that secret is, you can tell when your parents have secrets. Mm-hmm. You can tell.
So you don't even have to know specifically the secret, but you just know that it is
I know that it's something because you got to look back and look at your parent and say, why aren't you healed? Yeah. Why are you still continuing to not accept accountability for the things that you did? Yeah. Here I am, the child, the parents are still not accepting accountability for their stuff, and they're still continuing to be toxic. Still continues to have negative thoughts and whatever else is going on, and you're holding on and you're protecting something. Because all that protection that you have and the things that you went through, it affected me.
Right.
Because it affected you on the way that you raised me.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay, so that's why I would say I really wouldn't even have to know what that secret is, but I know it's something, and it may not even be a secret. It just be something you just don't want to talk about it, or you're running from it, and then you're just teaching your child to run from their problems too. So that's why I ran so much. I was running a lot myself because I wasn't really taught to sit down and heal and take time out for yourself, focus on yourself, and love yourself, and do this and that and the other. Those steps was not taught to me like now how I'm talking to my son.
I was gonna say,
tapping in with him, telling him.
Because that was the thing, though, right? I think to a degree, you kind of felt like you missed the opportunity as a younger child to do that. So let's say knowing that, right? So figuring out some stuff about yourself and then realizing where you could have been a better parent. How did that conversation even go, though? Because obviously at some point you kind of you kind of got to just be like, I don't know what, apologize or like
transparent and raw as hell, raw as I could be. Yeah. It's no hold bars on me now. So I was just talking to him in the car the other day. Hey, son, if you're watching. But I was just talking to him in the car the other day. And that's how me and my son kick it. We kick it like straight uncut. Like ain't no secrets. Just straight tell whatever it is that's going on. But we talked and I was like, I did some stuff, man. I said, you was crying for help. You was hollering out for me to save you. And I didn't know it. Nope, I had no idea because I was too caught up in what my husband was doing or, just caught up in myself, just trying to work, keep busy. I was running. And you running sometimes you don't even realize you're running. Yeah. I literally was like working, going to school, trying to run a business. I was working 3 jobs one time.
Damn.
I was. Everybody know how, everybody that was in Atlanta with me, they already know how I get down, how I hustle. They like, damn, you working this many jobs, working 3 jobs. I was in the medical field, so everybody know that's in the medical field, money is out there. Money on the flow. So I was grabbing anything I could and I was on survival mode. Like I said, when you see that with your parents and they raising you on survival mode and not really love, it causes a disconnect. So now you got your parents is out the house, mama working and daddy just wherever in the streets or whatever the case may be. So it's like
living his best life.
Yeah, like where you at?
Right.
And that's what ended up happening to my son as well. I repeated that cycle over again and didn't even realize that I was actually running from my childhood issues or anything that I could have had addressed with my mom or my father, you know. And once again, this is not to bash my parents. It's just you have to understand if your parents have childhood trauma and issues that they never healed from, you're going to end up getting the same thing. And it's going to pass down to you and you're going to pass it to your kids and so on and so on. Now you sitting up looking like, my son bad. My son, why he just won't do right. And he just, it's you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
you know
hard
what I mean? The environment that you done put them in.
It's hard to see from the parental lens, though, right? Because I know that you've been around friends or family members, and you seen how they raise their kids, and then when you see how they turned out, you be like, shit, I knew that, right?
You be like, that was expected.
Dog, it is easy to do that with somebody else's kid.
Yeah.
But you would be sitting in your same house.
And doing
the same
stuff
thing.
and don't even realize your kid going through the same thing. And that's why I said I can't even, those days of me judging, that's over with. Because I'm like, literally, I was dealing with a man that wouldn't even speak to my son. You know what I mean? It's like,
you mentioned that, and that's crazy.
Do that. That was like the worst thing is women that's doing it now. And I've seen it like, bro, you don't even speak to my kid, yo. And why am I still laying with you?
So this is definitely a conversation moment. So, shout out to Coco J. I think she'll be fine. It's too late. I already said
Who's Coco J?
My ex, right?
Oh.
So, when we first started dating, she had brought her sons around, and I was just like that. I still kind of don't like kids, but I'm okay. I'm okay with kids now, but earlier on in my life, like I definitely did. I was dismissive of kids. So she had brought them around, and I completely like didn't no contact. You know what I'm saying? So I remember she told me that how she was telling her sister like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work because
ain't
dog
speaking to
ain't
my
even, he
kid.
ain't doing nothing with my kids. Like, dog, this ain't even gonna work, right? And we ended up having the conversation. So we talked about it.
Okay.
And then I talked about how I wasn't necessarily comfortable with kids. Like, I didn't like kids at that point.
Okay.
So we talked through it, and then we ended up, moving past that, and obviously I got better because we ended up, in a I was about to say a situation, a relationship. I won't call it a situation, a relationship. And so yeah, I think that those things for some women go unnoticed though. Like she could have been like some women just been like, shit, fuck with the kids. They ain't his kids, so it don't matter. You know how that be. And then next thing you know, y'all living together and like he like Snoop Dogg, like, fuck your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Kicking down his little fort or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. It turned into situations like that because it's some dudes out here that really don't want nothing to do with your kids, and there are women who are accepting of that. And that's,
It's
and
sad. Do you think
wherever
you
that comes
know
from.
why though? Like, I mean, just you didn't have kids, but where do you think, like, why wouldn't you? Like, that kid is so innocent. Like, what do you think, like, stopped you from just, like, not even want to interact with this kid? And they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? They just being a kid. You coming in his life, in his world. You coming in his, not him coming into your world. You coming in his world.
I don't know. Just immaturity, I
can see that.
Not having none of my own. It's like, hey, I ain't got to deal with nobody else's kids. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think that shout out to my nephew, dog. Shout out to my nephew Shad, and my nephew, which is his son.
He had tapped in. I don't know if he's still on here or not. Shad looked like I don't know.
He might have tapped in. But shout out to my I'm old as hell. I guess to my grandnephew, right? Because it's my nephew's son, so that would make me my great or my grandnephew, whatever. Does anyway, his son AD, dog. So he already had RJ, and me and RJ.
I was tapping you in, bro.
Yeah, so me and RJ cool. Like we
what
rap
up,
now.
What up?
He's super grown now, so he cool.
Okay.
He in already.
Can you hear Q?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So I'm tell the story real quick. So yeah, AD was a baby, and when AD was a baby, he forced me to deal with him. Like he would come to me and like he would just come to me all the time. I'm like, dog, get out of here. I don't like kids. Get out of here. And he forced me to, right? Until it got to the point where that's my dog. So like really, I think starting with him, I started really dealing with kids, and he only 6. So this just happened.
Now, how old was your ex kid?
They was young then. I think one was like 11, one was like 5.
A little bit
They
older.
was they're a little bit older, but they were not babies, but old enough that I should have been interacting. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But, yeah, I learned later on. I'm a better person now. I'm a better human being now.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too. Some men can be jealous of other kids, and I don't know where that would come from.
Yeah,
it could come from the way that you treat your child. So if my son is spoiled.
Yeah.
So by him being spoiled and getting the things that he was getting way before you got here, that could have been an issue too. Like, dang, you paying too much attention to this kid, and some men do that too.
That's
Not
weird.
looking at it. Yeah,
it's weird.
It is. What up, bro? Q you can't even see him though, but
I
you
can't
can
see
hear
him.
him.
I can hear him now.
Yeah. What's going on? So we just talking about, you already know, family secrets and lies and stuff that affect you. That's all. I don't know if you heard the most of the stuff I talked about.
Yeah, I've been with you since you all tapped in.
Okay. What you think about that, bro?
Hey, some topics that I kind of missed that I probably would have jumped down on, but man, just going back to these secrets that like me for myself, I can really say like I didn't find out that I had an uncle until I was like 18 years old.
Ooh.
Like,
Good Lord.
but just going back, like piggybacking on what y'all talked about earlier, like I didn't realize it until my great grandmama passed. And I'm like, oh, this cat, he looks like
I say he look like her.
But this thing though, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it from my mama. I had to have my dad.
Oh, man.
And he
Dang.
was like, oh yeah, it's your uncle. I'm like, okay, I understand that, but
Where it come
Why
from?
am I just not meeting him?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, well, we, they ain't want to tell nobody. Help me understand that too.
Yeah.
But like I say, people would rather try to keep the peace
Yep.
instead of living whatever truth that they had left in them, because the shame is too much to bear.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then if you look at it, if you have children coming out of that same cycle of trees down throughout the family, that make it even worse, because that parent still don't want to. The longer it goes, the worse it becomes to tap into.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They do. Yeah, it's a lot of processing. Yep, and that's the part. And Q, look, going back to earlier too, we was talking about when I had told him about expectations and things like that. Have you watched Steven Speaks before? Hey, honey bun. Have you ever heard of Steven Speaks before? The dude, he got the dreads. He do like a lot of relationship podcasts and like shows and stuff like that. He real popular though. And I was listening to him today, and there was a lot of things on there as well. I was like, family ties into that too, as far as your relationships and stuff. Family, that's another thing. Family got to stay out of stuff. So that's the big problem. In relationships, have you ever had somebody just in your relationship all the time, or you always running back and tell them what's going on? That causes a lot of problems. That's other secrets and lies too that comes about. You know what I'm saying? And it affects your marriage and all kind of stuff too. So I was like, I didn't even think about that. I thought about when I was having issues in my marriages, I was calling siblings. I was calling had my brothers all hyped up. And then when everything good to go, and I'm good with my dude, it's like they still ready to fight and I'm in love again. It's like, so when you going through trauma and drama with your dude, it's your husband, your wife, don't call nobody. Yeah. Don't call your sisters. Don't call your sisters and your brothers now, because they gonna be ready to fight.
So I got both of y'all. So I'm finna play with both of y'all mind right now. Okay.
Go.
So when you look at the structure of your family tree, what would you put at the top? Who would you put at the top of your family tree?
You gonna answer?
I'm putting myself up there.
Family tree.
Yourself. Okay.
I'm gonna put my grandfather, my father's father.
Yeah, we gotta start with the granddaddies. I forgot we do gotta start with the granddaddies.
So check this out. Both of y'all gave the same answer. Both of y'all answers have never actually looked at it like this way. What about you put that grandparent at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, aren't they not the foundation?
Yeah.
Once everybody grow up, they branch out. But when you think about it, the foundation, everybody have, if it's issues in different situations, lies are being told, people are not being honest, basically it actually shake the trees, all the problems go back down to the foundation.
It do.
That's the conversation you're not having.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Bro, look, bro dropping gems on here. Then. Dang, and they can't even hear them on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, they can hear them too? Look at Q. Q be having everything connected. That's what's up. Okay, I ain't think about that. So you still end up at the top then. Because you start from the bottom.
Right.
I never looked at it like that.
Yep, I haven't either. Cause when you go back and you look at stuff, you say, well, my grandfather must have did this to my father or my mother, and then my mother, and it's repeated, and you got to go all the way back, great grandfathers.
Right.
And how many secrets and stuff we don't even know a lot of stuff. Like sometimes I'll be like, who am I? Like, what am I mixed with? What am I, I want to know all of that stuff. And it's like, you don't get to that point until you wake up and you be like, you know what? No, I need to go back and tap in.
Right.
You don't ever think about that? What you mix with, who else you got going, what's your bloodline? I'm telling you.
I don't know. I don't. I don't think that far into
Man,
it.
y'all see this skin, okay? And that ain't no makeup. Now, if y'all people that know me see my hair, I'll be like, yeah, I got something. I know all of us mixed up with a lot of
With
stuff,
something,
but
yeah, for sure.
it's something. You know, I know my grandfather, though, was a straight up Indian. He had red hair. My dad's father, he was like red. So I do know that much. Yeah, but those things can be affected. Bro, what is you over there doing?
Right.
I'm finna go outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so starting, let me go back because we done went all the way left and came back, but just to tell the other end of it, of those 6 months that I said of that isolation stage that I went through, with me trying to figure out why was I going through these same cycles, especially the stuff that I repeated on episode 1. If people go back and look at episode 1, then you'll kind of hear my story a little bit better. But that isolation stage is very powerful. You have to go through that. It was a lot of depression moments, a lot of detachment. I kind of like detach myself from everybody. Siblings, my mom, my son. I had to. Because I had to figure out why was I feeling the way I was feeling. So that's why that video that I made the other day, I said when you have anything that irritates you or it bothers you deep down inside and you can't really figure out what it is, you need to go tap into yourself. You need to figure out why is that situation irritating you. Because other than that, you should be at peace. Right, you should be at, you should have peace at all times.
Right.
You shouldn't have any toxic things, no negative thoughts going through your head. And when it get to the point they get so bombarded up there, you will lose your mind. And a lot of people, that's where that mental health come in at. People not letting go of things that's stressing them. You're not removing toxic people away from you and things of that nature. It doesn't matter if you did it before, but once you get into that moment where you ready to wake up, now you gotta go. Now you can't even tolerate those people. Your body become like foreign. Like, who are you? You know, like you can't be around me because you're disturbing my peace. So when that happens, you have to sit down. And I still do that now to this very day. So if it's something that it might strike a nerve in me, I'm gonna deal with it right there. And I don't run no more. Because that running caused me to have more and more damage and more emotional pains, and I don't deal in emotions at all. So when you coming out the womb and just growing up, we taught to deal from emotions. Nobody tell us to look within yourself and all your love, your happiness, your everything. It comes right here within. Nobody teaches us that. You looking at everything else. So you looking around, you trying to find love. You're trying to find your happiness. Oh, if I give me a man, he gonna make me happy. If I give me a woman, no, they can't make you happy. And we put that stress on other people. Like, you supposed to be here to make me happy. No, I don't. You should be happy already.
True. You kind of overlook the small things that actually do bring you joy. It kind of reminds me of I watched Soul. If you've seen Soul.
Yes. Did you see how they was walking around?
Yeah.
Like some of them was just they was lost. That's what I'm talking about. And half of the people on the earth is doing that now.
And for that to be a Disney movie, like it kind of pinpointed life, like to a T. I think that's a perfect example, though. So yeah, if you haven't seen Soul, make sure you check that out.
Soul is a very good movie, bro. I think I told you to watch Soul. That's on Disney Channel. So you can pretty much watch that on there.
As it's animated or whatever, but it's for adults and kids. It's like some kids stuff to keep them entertaining, but the adult thing, I think you would grasp, and I think it makes complete sense, especially for somebody going through a healing journey or just trying to figure out life. Because it's obviously life is complicated. It's gonna be different for each person, but the only common denominator is you. You know what I'm saying? So if you figure yourself out, then in the best of terms, everything else will fall into place. At least that's what I would like to think.
And you see the sum of the movie of Soul. If you've never seen it, bro, the summing of that is this dude he was trying to live the life his father was living. So his dad was like a musician or something like that, or he played the piano, but he played with different groups at different like little clubs and stuff. And he ended up, as the son, he was a teacher. He was a music teacher at a school. But he didn't really want to do it. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We supposed to talk. You get on my nerves. We supposed to talk about that earlier today. And I forgot about it.
A lot of metaphysical things that's in there.
Everybody right now, autopilot right now.
Boom.
Everybody like is out of sight, out of mind, and really not paying attention to what's going on. Like,
Yep. They walking around with their head down, they lost, they don't know their place. That's people, they don't know their worth. They just have no clue. They can't find their gift, they can't find their purpose. So you got two things that you have to accomplish on this earth. You got to have a gift and your purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's the way for you to go. But your purpose, every single person on this earth, your purpose is to do what? Help others. So my story is becoming a guide for you so that you don't have to go through the same thing. So every time you wake up, and you get to that point where you start knowing who you are, you start building your foundation, now you need to share it. Right. And you need to help other people. And people don't even realize that. They'll just leave people behind, not knowing, no, you ain't even serving your purpose. So the universe ain't going to take care of you and bring nothing back. I push out 100%. It's going to come back to me 100%.
Sure.
Yeah, you ain't even in the same space. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, the headspace different.
Like, and I haven't still give it back to you, like, cause you kind of shine. You said it. You opened me up. So it's like almost falling out of yourself, watching yourself and watching everybody around you. And if you're the only person awareness is up, that means everybody else within. It's just almost like you talking. And everybody is still walking past you, like a day in New York.
Yep. Nobody hear you. Yep, that's a good one. They don't understand, but you still continue like me. I know that everybody's not gonna understand because I'm the only one that can see it. I was told that a couple of days ago, brought a little light to me. I'm the only one that can see it, and I'm the only one that's gonna understand it as well as you. So you have everybody that's just they not gonna get it yet. Yeah. But they will later. And that the whole purpose, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop talking. I'm not going to stop giving you the information, dropping the gems on you and giving it to you because you still need it. Because one day you're going to wake up just like I did. I used to listen to a lot of stuff like Kevin Samuels, for one, rest in peace to him. I was listening to him and I just was like, I didn't get it. You know, at that time, it wasn't for me to get it at that time. And everybody is going to receive that information when they need to. Oh, there it goes. Okay. They were saying my battery, I guess my battery low. Yeah. Hold on, bro. I gotta go get my charger.
All right, so while she's going to get the charger, we'll reset the room really quickly here. Right now, we're just having a Q&A, kind of going over the past 9 episodes up until episode 10, which is today. And just also talking about family secrets and lies and how those can affect your healing in the future. Not only just your future and healing, but also also your future relationships. Is it long enough?
Nope, I'm gonna have to end up holding it. Unless you got a cord. What you got? You got a longer one?
Yeah.
I ain't want to throw it up.
Crazy.
I ain't want to throw it up and shit. She would have got out of here. Yeah, so it's a lot longer. So that's what we're talking about now. If you've got a story, about how family secrets or family lies has, kind of disrupted your
or just anything
future
that
healing,
bothers you, yeah,
or anything that bothers you, Q&A right here with Dr. Candace.
Dr. Candace, that sounds good.
Right. You gotta tap in at 313-444-3032. Once again, that's 313-444-3032. Now you can give us a call and you be live on the air.
So where my, that plug is like.
Oh, the plug in the way. Yeah.
It's
gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a little tight. I'm gonna try to hold this up.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight.
Yeah. Let me see if I can. If I turn it sideways, it's gonna do something else, ain't it?
You gonna be sideways on your screen.
Yeah.
So
I want to be sideways in there. What can I go on my? But I have to go all the way off and come back on this one, won't I? Okay. I ain't about to do all that. That's why I was trying to use my iPad. My iPad was on some bull crap, man. It ain't want to do its thing for me.
Hey, you already know, like, somebody else again, but you can bring.
Oh, yeah. For sure. So during this time, bro, that you are, you more aware than what you was a couple of. I'm just holding my phone.
Yeah, you got your microphone back on.
Oh, cool. And you probably can't even hear me. Hold on, bro.
Go ahead.
Don't fall.
Right.
Y'all about to be laughing at me like, this girl. It's all right. We got this. So during the time now that you are in a totally different headspace, like, what is it that you can, let's say, like mentally, like, how do you feel now though? Just the reading, the videos you've watched in the last couple of weeks or so, just things you've been tapping in on.
To be honest with you, it's almost like just bear with me on it. It's almost like I put on another set of lenses on my eyes, or I got another, it's almost like, I don't even know how to explain it. I got a new set of ears. Hold up. How I normally say it. My eyes open and my ears clean.
There you go.
What's going on over here.
They clean, because you can hear you receiving everything.
It's almost to the point where you can actually spot the bullshit before it gets there.
Mm-hmm.
And
You gonna bring like I know how to work this.
just in a space to the point where you can see your old skin you shedded. Your old skin you shedded in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the mistakes in that too.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. What happened? Oh, there you go. I got it. Yeah, look, I came back on with the crazy face. He gave me a little propping thing, so now I probably don't gotta hold it no more.
Let go.
Okay.
So yeah, what I'm saying, like, it's a new set of lenses and a new set of ears, because now it's almost like the things that you want to wear, you see, and not only just when I say eyes open and ears clean, not only you not aware of what's going on around you, you're aware of everything, the music you listen to, the people you deal with.
Yeah.
Things start to kind of align itself to be like, oh, yo, you can see that from a mile away. It's almost like having that Superman vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can see it coming. And if a person ain't operating on the frequency that you want, or they still asleep, they won't understand. They don't even understand the ground you walking on right now, because it's a different concept. Like, okay, me and you, we put our heads together, and we had a big power. When I say we had a power, I went back and listened to some old music that I thought I knew the lyrics to.
Oh yeah. You know he went back and listened to Outkast too.
Oh yeah.
That Andre 3000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a reason why that man is 3,000. Like, it's a whole nother concept, and it ain't about like I'm focusing on rapper. It's just the way he uses a word to get you to think.
Yep.
And the way me and you sit there and dissect the song, I'm like, I didn't even know they was in that kind of space.
Yep. They're in a whole nother different space.
Because the music, I think Jimi Hendrix said, the music is the best tool to get a person, I can't remember exactly, I posted the other day, whatever it is about the music, you can tell a person whatever you need to tell them through the music.
Yep.
And that's what our people are doing. And a lot of people just looking at it as entertainment.
Yeah.
No.
It's information.
They're telling you a story.
They're telling you a story. Yep, big information. You gotta understand too, we have different frequencies as well. You have different hertz that they use even in the music that's supposed to attract this right here. You feel me? Like if you don't get chill bumps when you listen to a song, it ain't hitting on shit. You feel, and you get them chill bumps because you on that frequency that they on. You gonna understand. Once you be receiving, you gonna feel it. If you ever felt your heart chakra open up, which is a lot of people is not familiar with that, but we got 7 chakras. One of the biggest ones, and you operate from your root chakra, which is the bottom of your spine. You operate from that when you first out of the womb, all the way up until you start unlearning habits that you were taught, and then everything else starts to open up. You have your crown chakra for your mind. You got your third eye that start opening up so you can see clear, and then you have your heart chakra. When that heart chakra open up, everything, oh my goodness, now you start dealing in love. So music, I sit up there and listen to the beat sometimes just to be able to hear the hertz that it's on, and it'll grasp me, it catch my attention. So it's real deep. It's deep. And people, they ain't ready to tap in on that. It's a lot because a lot of people don't want to hear that. They'll say, oh, this is a conspiracy theory and things like that. But you got Jay-Z, you have Beyonce, you got Kanye. You have a lot of them. They've been trying to tell you through the music a long time ago.
Yeah, and see, me and you shared that conversation. And I said, ooh, I remember all these signs and these different tattoos and these different logos that people were putting on their either brand or kind of seen them do a sign like online, but when you tap into YouTube, they're gonna give you their version. So it's almost like Illuminati. No, it's something else.
Ain't no Illuminati.
if you tap into them lyrics, they telling you.
Yep.
Come on, man.
And they think Erykah Badu. They think Erykah Badu and lost her. She ain't lost her damn mind. She know what's going on.
I did tap this into information that threw me out the other day. So, you know the lady Medusa.
You know about Medusa.
They thought her hair. Well, she had dreads.
Yeah.
She was one of the most beautiful women in that area that she was at. I can't remember the whole story.
They was jealous of her.
They turned it around and said she had snakes in her head.
Yep.
So, but get this right. I'm gonna go left field, but I just want to knock it out the park for you. Anybody that have ever played a game called God of War, it's a mythology game. They have Medusa on there with the snakes in her head where she turned the man to stone. But just running with that story, like going back to Superman. I mean, what white man named L? What I can't remember Superman's name from Batman. Jarrell, L, whatever it is. I'm gonna get back on. I just went left.
Kal-El. He said Kal-El.
Nah. It's something else.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay, I thought it was L and something else, but but see, so I'm gonna tell you where I'm going with it.
Okay.
Walt Disney had this whole idea of grabbing think about it, they grab your children's mind, and we are what color? How many princes do we have? So we have this facade. We only got one. Maybe two. We probably only one. But even looking at it, they had this facade for us to think that a knight in shining armor is gonna come get you.
Yep.
They always got the man coming to save the day.
Yep.
But that's not what we hear people say.
Nope. Damn.
It started from somewhere.
Yeah, it did. I mean, that's why I was saying too, like as far as the where it started at with men being devalued a whole lot. You know, that's big, and it's all over YouTube. It's all over the news. I mean, you got all the different races, even including our own race, that's devaluing our black men, and it's not good. Y'all the superheroes in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all Superman. Y'all should be treated a whole nother different way, but us being raised the way we was raised and programmed was to just like always blame stuff on y'all. All the fingers always got pointed at y'all all the time. And you think about how the whole system is set up. Think about how child support system is set up to take who? Take y'all to jail. Take y'all out of the household. You got this divorce shit that's set up So as soon as you leave the household, the wife get everything. She taking your money. She get half of everything. It's like everything gets took away from y'all in so many ways. And this is why with society, it is totally enabling women sometimes. It's enabling us to actually look at ourselves and know that a lot of that stuff we're causing. We're causing a lot of those problems. And we're not taught to pour into our black men. We're learning to take away. We're learning to try to control y'all to keep y'all in a certain box for our own gain sometimes. Now, hey, this conversation can get a little bit raw. And it's some women that ain't going to want to hear it. But that's just what it is. And that's just real talk. So until you go and you do your research and you sit down, like I said, and you tap in, then you will understand where all that is coming from. I'm not saying that men don't have anything to do with a lot of the things that might happen or whatever the case may be. We all do, but the biggest part of it is the way that we have been raised and the things that we're taught that just was programmed the wrong way. And nobody ever stopped to change anything. It's like now it's up to us. We got to break the cycle.
Well, I mean, that's beautifully said, but even in that whole concept, like, I picked up traits that I saw, but I didn't realize that the trail of people I left behind throughout my traits.
Mm-hmm.
But that was something that I picked up from home.
Yeah.
You know, so understanding that was something that had a void in me, I tried to get everybody that came through to feel it. And it wasn't going to ever be where it needed to be until I fixed the void with the person who I have the void with.
Yeah. Yep. We always, like Q, I think I said that probably about like episode 2 when I talked about you are who you attract. I remember the first time I said that to you, and when I said it to Malcolm looked at me and said, "What? you think that's true?" Yeah.
It is to a degree. It is to a degree. And the only thing I say about that is that oftentimes if you are, I guess if you want to call it a healed person or a person that's far enough along in your journey, sometimes you will attract a person who needs more. You know what I'm saying? So that's not necessarily attracting what you putting out. It's attracting who needs what you putting out.
Relationship wise, though, is what we saying.
That too.
Like your avoidance and parents or whatever the case may be who wasn't there, that's usually the people that you end up attracting and you date. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's important to heal all of that stuff. That's why you got to be patient. Take your time. Go through all of that so that you do not have any voids in there, because that is what you're going to attract. Yeah. It's real talk. Like once you get through all that, you don't have any no more. So everything that somebody else brings to the table is just additional. Yeah. That's it. So. And that's all straight facts. Because I didn't completed everything that I need to complete. I still got a few things, you know what I'm saying, that I'm still going, but this podcast is helping me to finish healing and just helping people. It's healing me as well. So talking to whoever, you, Q, the people that comes on the podcast, it resonates with me a lot. And I have to sit and I'll listen to y'all too and be like, that's something I could probably work on, or, you know, but I'm able to receive it. Everybody's not able to sit there and hear what you're saying and take it as good criticism and fix it. Right. So a lot of times people is on defense mode. The whole half of the world on defense mode because that's what we've been taught. You just defending yourself. When somebody say something to you, oh, no, I'm not wrong. You know, no, I'm perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with you. Because what was told to me when I was younger is, if don't nobody like you, it's something wrong with them. It ain't nothing wrong with you. That's another quote that enables us from looking at ourselves. You feel me? Because that's definitely not true. Like, you can't say that to nobody. It's a lot of that stuff that is like quotes that is not true. Yeah. And it should not be told.
Even in that same aspect, like, they giving you the traits of, like, really living in your ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know it's a term. You don't even know it's a thing. But when they tell you stuff like that, like, they feed me.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
when you get to a point where you're in a higher place, no matter where you in life, if your ego is so strong, guess what? You won't listen to nobody else. You
Yeah.
have to start with the person who was feeding it with you from the beginning.
Yep.
True.
Yep. You're right. That's why I said you can't listen to your mama all the time. Nope, you can't. We know that's your mama, but your mama not always right.
Right.
And see, that's the thing about it. See, those are the hard talks that people are afraid of. Those we can sit around for everything else,
Yeah.
but we can't sit around for trying to figure out, hey, why can't we fix this structure? Like, it's not gonna kill you to at least get it off.
Yep.
Right.
Like let's at least get it off. Let's address it. We're not saying nobody gonna be right. We're not saying nobody gonna be wrong. But let's at least meet in the middle.
Yep.
Because the hardest people to get to talk is grown people.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't nobody feel like they wrong, and it's not about being wrong. Don't nobody want to take accountability.
Yep. Big words.
Everybody they just want to point fingers, and pointing the fingers still ain't solving it. And you go on years, and the next time you meet is with somebody on the ground.
Right.
Yep.
Most often.
Yep. That's right. Hell, the damn White House, everything built on pointing fingers. But you already know, and even in the White House, they point fingers at each other, and ain't nothing happening. Everybody just getting blamed for everything, and nobody's looking at themselves on why is the world going through certain things that we going through, and it's messed up. And it got us in our society pointing at each other to where we don't even know where to start to even heal at.
That's programming.
True.
That's
Totally.
programming.
Yeah.
I mean, look how we eat.
Yeah.
Come on now. I bet everybody got at least 3 McDonald's in their neighborhood.
Yep. 3. Oh yeah. How many? Look, Q got one up the street. You can pass up 2 of them.
2 of them, yeah. 2 of them.
So not only they're not gonna move that McDonald's and come back down and own that land, but see, this is how they really don't care about you, right? They know McDonald's chicken nuggets are made with some bullshit and everything else is pre-cooked, right?
Right.
We're crazy. I'm just saying. I'm not knocking McDonald's. But think about it. Us as a people, we were complaining and said, well, everybody going healthy, so they need to put their calories on the side of it. So McDonald's put their calories on the side of it, and guess what? You still went and got it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
see, this is the thing. You get the heads up
Yep.
before anything you get. If you smoke cigarettes, what are they gonna say at the bottom?
You can
Surgeon
get
General.
lung cancer. You can get, whatever. It's telling you.
So check this out. Cat Williams spoke on that at his comedy show on commercials, and they've been doing it on the side of products for the longest.
Ain't that something? And people still smoke them anyway. They like, I'm just gonna have lung cancer,
The warning
and
was
it
there.
is what it is.
But see, that was a habit. That's something they picked off somebody. So that means it was an adult that smoked around them that was young.
Yep. The
Kids
things.
only pick up whatever habits they see.
Yep.
It's sponges.
Most definitely. And that's the reason why we in a lot of situations that we in now. So people just, it's a long way to recovery. I'ma just do my part of the global healing. So hey, that's it. I can just share, and I just appreciate that y'all share as well the information that y'all know. He gonna have a podcast, right? Bro got a podcast. He gonna have one coming. He got one coming. He getting up there now, so he gonna be able to distribute this information as well.
For sure.
And pick up your own crowd.
It's just a lot of stuff that people they'll rather gossip about, but they won't talk about.
Yeah. I just mentioned that earlier. I said I found myself when I was working at the hospital. I was gossiping a whole lot. Like, that's the gossiping tank right there. The hospital was like, oh my goodness, anybody ever worked at the hospital? All my healthcare people, y'all already know how toxic it is in there. I mean,
Think about it though, right? I ain't mean to cut you off.
you good.
Check me out. I just, for some reason, it's just the breakdown on what I see. I've been there 20 years, but I'm looking at it and I think, I'm thankful for what I got. So when I look at it, the hospital, just take away the patients. Don't even think about the patients right now.
Okay.
I've been there 20 years, and I look back on 20 years, and I look at most people where they was when I started. The hospital was like the land of the dead throughout the employees. What I mean
Damn.
by that, you still being overworked and underpaid.
Yep.
And we was on the front line through the pandemic.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up a little bit, bro. Just a little bit.
On the front lines through the
I
pandemic.
said we was on the front line for the pandemic, but they still didn't issue no money out.
Nah. They weren't gonna do that.
But a lot of people went down.
They did. I was working a little bit too hard too. It was like, I look back and I'm like, it's slavery. Just in a whole nother different form. Because you still have to take a lunch break when they tell you to take one. You can't eat when you want to eat. You can't leave when you want to leave. You got a certain time, you got to get there. It's just like, it's still slavery in so many ways.
I got a question then. Where do you think they came from? For the both of y'all, where did you think they come from?
The idea of slavery, or like the
idea of having a 30-minute break every day.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know.
30-minute breaks or 15-minute breaks or whatever. Like I don't know
They
who came
split
up with
the
that
hour up
or
sometimes,
even
two
the
15s and a 30.
or even the idea of an 8-hour workday. Like I don't know where none of that came from.
Yeah, me either.
You was already programmed from it. They program you when you start going to school.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a break, lunch break at school. Yeah, we did. How long was our lunch break at school? An hour? We had an hour lunch break.
We had an hour, I think. Don't give me the line.
It seemed like that was a damn class because we was in there dancing and beating on tables, and you done had fights. You done had all type of stuff happening in that whole hour of your break, or your lunch break.
See, that, but at the same time, you had to be back at a certain time, and you still, when you got back, they was expecting for you to perform until what? It's time to go, or either the bell ring.
Yeah.
Q, I feel like you got some questions, man. What's up with you guys?
No, I don't have no questions actually. I asked a few at the beginning, but yeah, I'm just in the conversation now. Shit, I don't have no questions right now.
Dang, I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah, I mean
true.
it's supposedly preparing you for the workforce, but it's also, I hate to make this comparison, but it's also, gearing you up for penitentiary. Now, I know a lot of people don't like to hear that shit, but I'm just saying, when you start talking about school safety and school shootings and shit, then now, of course, they lock the doors in the classroom, right? So now, like when you go in the classroom, you are pretty much locked in, and then you get let out to go to the yard, you know what I'm saying, for recess, and then you let out to go to the mess hall and shit for lunch. Like it's like prison. And it kind of gets you adapted to that. And it's fucked up because I don't want people to think that I feel that poorly about, the DPS or any public school system. But it's set up in that same mind frame. So like when you get to college and you get to choose your own schedule, motherfuckers be lost. Like they don't even know how to do it because it's like, damn, I get to pick and choose when I go. Like, because for 13 years, you haven't been able to.
Yeah.
It's 13 years. Think about that shit, though.
Yeah,
it's 13 years of doing some shit. Oh, it's in there. Yeah. It's ingrained.
Yep.
You spend 13 years in school, you going to start doing shit the same way. You start thinking that the little break and a couple little breaks of getting outside for recess and shit. Like, you start thinking that shit is cool, but that shit ain't cool.
No.
So,
That also explains people coming out of high school staying at one job, doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you don't miss a beat. You still get your if you don't work weekend, you still get your weekend off. That's what I got. That's why I'm trying to break through and get on up out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, but
we don't supposed to be working for nobody.
No.
We have what y'all think about? Okay, you not really knowing too much of your family history too, going back to the secrets and the lies that can possibly happen. Like, we have property. We got stuff out here. We don't know nothing about it.
Oh yeah, those are secrets that somebody died with that we never go find out about.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it would have put our family in better places. You know what I'm saying? Better spots, so we wouldn't have to keep working. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And doing the things that we doing.
Because they tell you all the horror stories about about slavery and the Jim Crow South and all that. And in reality, though, even during slavery and even in Jim Crow, it was black people doing fantastic. Yeah. They were doing very well. Property, all kind of shit. But because you start feeding into the narrative of how, I don't have a better word to say, fucked up it was, that you start thinking that, I know my grandparents didn't have shit. And they might have did.
And they probably did.
But you start thinking like it was so messed up that there's no way they could have had property or no way they could have had a business. They probably did.
Yep, and we're not going to have no knowledge of it.
No knowledge of the shit. Like you think about, like, for my mom who, passed away in 2016, so it'd be 6 years now, or it's been 6 years, so it passed in May, it was 6 years. And I remember, we was getting all our paperwork together, and I remember she was born, and niggas probably don't have no idea where this is, but it's Oglethorpe, Georgia, right? So Oglethorpe is a...
We ain't probably know where that's at.
It's a super small town.
It's a school name after that, too.
Yeah, it sure is. So it's like maybe... I don't know, maybe a couple, not even a couple 100 miles south of Atlanta, right? Small town where actually my aunt told me, and I had to look through some history books to figure this one out, but there was originally an original Oglethorpe. The people had smallpox, and obviously they was black people. They quarantined all these people and burnt the whole city down. So, like, the new Oglethorpe is where, my grandmother was born. So this is where they basically relocated a few miles east because they had burnt all the people up in quarantine that had smallpox. Because at the time, they didn't know what to do with smallpox. They thought that shit was a pandemic. They didn't know what to do with it. But anyway, I said all that to say that my mom's was born down there, too. And they had a midwife or some shit. Handwritten ass birth certificate. Had a different name on there. Had like some fucked up dates and shit. Like, so it's things that happen down south that we completely lost track of. And why you think that, shit was so bad, your granddaddy or your granddaddy's daddy might have had a whole little store or something down there. But when he died, that paperwork is like fucking written in crayon. Like, they tore that shit up and threw it away like it's no record of it. So you probably got businesses, you got land and all kind of shit down south. And somebody stole that shit. And it's a secret.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just a secret to you, it's a secret to your whole family because they done took your shit. Yeah. And when I looked at her birth certificate, I was just like, damn. Like, the way this was some poorly recorded shit. Yeah. It's like, you was 10 seconds away from not fucking existing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how real is that?
That shit crazy. We got a lot of stuff and we have no clue. It's so sad.
On top of the basic shit that we doing to each other.
Yep.
We got all that other shit going on. There's a lot going on.
And you notice when somebody passed away, it's like we were also programmed to create chaos. Chaos happened, and all of the bad, everything comes out when somebody passed away. Now they fighting over money, property. It's repeated.
You know what that is, don't you?
What?
That's white people shit.
Oh, I know.
We adopted that shit. That's white people shit.
Yeah.
The shit that we do now, that's white people shit, dog.
That's a lot of
we wasn't on that shit. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't on that shit. We was celebrating our loved ones. We was celebrating their life, not celebrating their death, but celebrating their legacy and shit. We wasn't doing this. That's white people shit. This capitalism shit. This is what this is. And unfortunately, we live in this, so you got to learn how to live within the system, but it's fucked up. I mean, once you understand that you living inside the system, which, hey, our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents thought that capitalism was the way to go. They didn't know because they felt like this was they thought that capitalism and democracy was the shit. They really felt like we go lose our lives for these votes. And I guarantee, and I hate to talk about shit like this because it gets a little weird and shit, right? But if they'd have known what they knew now, what the democratic system was gonna look like, they would have never fucking fought so hard for this vote. Yeah. They wouldn't have. If they'd have known there was so much bullshit in the system. They wouldn't have. They'd have been like, you know what, let's just band together and do like fucking Indians doing shit. Like, they create their own laws, create their own bylaws, create their own situation. Or At the end of the day, we can't create our own shit, but we can at least band together and lobby to make the motherfucking office do what we asked them to do.
Yeah.
Because that's all that happened with the LGBTQ and shit. Like, they don't have to have nobody in office, but they lobby hard enough to make the niggas who in there do what the fuck they want them to do. That's it. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter who I vote for, whoever in there. If I lean on you hard enough or grease your palms hard enough, you go do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
Regardless, if it's Trump or Obama.
Yeah.
If I pay you enough, you gonna do it. Because that's what is capitalism.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right.
though, we ain't about to get all into politics.
You hear Q going in. Look, that's his part right there.
Yeah, see, we ain't gonna get into all that, dog. We ain't even gonna get into all that, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm not healed from capitalism yet.
He said he ain't healed from that one yet. It's gonna take a while.
My bad. I mean, it's like I'm running
but
for office.
all that connects though.
All
so
that connects though. And that's stuff that we have to deal with.
Yep.
See, even in that same space, like going back to what we were just talking about when you asked me, like now that I'm awake, like how I'm seeing, like you can even see that bullshit on TV.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, because on TV, talking about the news.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Well, the news and media has been the biggest form of propaganda since fucking 1600s or some shit. Like, you know, yeah. So I dig that. And then once you start looking at corporate sponsors and their connections to media outlets and shit, it all look like a game. Yeah. You know, at some point, somebody did want to tell the truth. Somebody did want to help. You know what I'm saying? But then once the money get involved, shit, you don't know what's real.
Yep, and it's over. I don't even be watching. I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. Yeah. I try. The only time my TV is on when the game on.
Just like, and I don't want to get all into these politics, but just like most recently, obviously the Uvalde school shooting. They leaked the security footage. Now the security footage was supposed to be shared with the family members of the kids of the school in private. Like they were supposed to be able to see what happened. They figure out how they want to play it out, whatever. Somebody leaked the shit to the news, to the media and shit, right? Now we all know that somebody got paid for this shit, so it's some money involved, right? Mm-hmm. But also too, I know it was to push a political agenda. Now their political agenda was the gun control. This is the thing. Like you got an 18-year-old kid, you got an AR, he in there shooting up kids. You can't let this happen. Everybody needs stricter gun rules. That's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, when they leaked the video, it just showed me where we got a problem with fucking law enforcement. Like this is a law enforcement issue. These 20, 30 motherfuckers inside the school and let this. I'm just saying. I know it's an AR. But you got 20 trained professionals who also have ARs, body armor and everything. Something. And they stayed in that school for an hour while this nigga murdered kids. So the thing ain't about gun control. It's about law enforcement not doing their fucking job.
Yeah. But that little boy got sacrificed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a whole
he was meant to, they sent him.
Yeah, because there is definitely
do that.
There's definitely a small room in the White House with a box of ARs. I swear to God, and they handed them bitches out. Like here, go shoot that up. Go shoot.
Just swear, like old buddy that was at the what was the little dude name?
The 4th of July thing.
Was it 4th of July? Was that last year? The little 18-year-old. He wasn't even from there. I think he was down in. He was at the protest thing.
At the protest. Yeah.
And he didn't. He gone.
He drove down there.
Yeah, he drove down there. I was talking about
the dude who just shot up the 4th of July.
I ain't know nothing about that one because I ain't watched the news. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, dressed like a girl.
He was an example as well.
I really don't even want to do, man.
Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
Right, because it take it back to us in general, and when I say us, I mean black people. It's like we got enough going on, and it's no disrespect for people losing their life and stuff. Because I know in Highland, I think that was Highland Park, Illinois. Like it's all white people. Not saying that it's not my problem, but we got a lot of our own shit to work through. Mm-hmm. That yeah.
And a lot of that, all of that is strength. All of that is also coming from same thing we've been talking about: healing.
Healing, yeah.
People is not healed,
and
so
black
they just
people as a
out
whole
here.
Just ain't did that.
Yeah,
we just ain't did that. Nah.
We just sitting up and we attacking each other. That's why I was like, once you start, you living in fear, and so many people living in fear, it causes that disconnect. So they put the news out there, So you can live in fear. You don't want to go out your house.
Yeah.
You're scared of COVID. You're scared you're going to catch this. You're scared you're going to all of this stuff. And you building up these people fear so much in their mind. That's all they concentrating on.
For sure.
And once you concentrate on, you don't do nothing but just manifest it.
Yeah.
That's what you do. So that's why I tell people, change your mindset. You
got
have to. Once you change your mindset and it goes to everything positive, everything good, then you'll start seeing, you'll reap the benefits of all that good stuff that you've been missing out on. Because now you done programmed your subconscious mind to totally fall in line with your conscious mind and say, this is it. And this is it. So that first voice you hear, that's the one that you need to be going by.
Yeah.
And that subconscious mind, that ain't nothing but your junk box. But they told us it's your left and right. Oh, let me look to my left, let me look to my right, or that's the devil and that's God or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So, that's why I was like, music, even the music, they put that certain music out there. So it hypes some people up to go kill. Yeah. You know how many dudes sitting up in the house, they in pain. You get what I'm saying? They in pain. They mad about their daddy not being there. They mad because their baby mama then took the kids away from them. They got all this anger going on and they turning on who? I don't know. We can name a bunch of rappers, shoot 'em up, bang bang rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Bang,
and it's getting them hyped up. The music is pumping them up.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna definitely not need you to refer to as the shoot 'em up, bang bang music like you're 70 years old.
I know, right? Shoot 'em up, bang bang music.
You sound like a 70-year-old white lady. Shoot 'em up, bang bang music. All right. I'm gonna let you slide because it's your show.
Let me slide.
Yeah, because
Yeah, but that type of stuff, it's breaking it's breaking our hearts, like totally. So,
in addition to the family shit, so just compound all that together, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
The only thing you can do to begin with, though, is identify it, and then after that, it's up to you what you do with it.
Yeah,
it really is.
According to the movie Soul, it's way more of them walking around with their heads down. The lost souls, it's way more of them than it is of us.
Or even like Dog was the main character. Like he thought he knew what he wanted. Like this whole time. This whole time he dedicated his whole life. Like this is what I want to do. And then he got there. He was like, oh shit, like that's it.
Yep.
Like now what do I do? Because that ain't what you really want. That wasn't your purpose.
That wasn't
you thought purpose. It was.
Yeah, he was trying to live his parents' purpose. A lot of times we try to live our parents, they're the things they want us to do. You're not even knowing. Same thing with me. I went to school and did all this medical stuff thinking that I was going to be a doctor. And I was like, I'm going to take care of my family. That was my whole thing. I'm going to become a doctor, take care of my family. I had like a lot of family members with a lot of illnesses and stuff, but I didn't really know the base of it and why it's so many illnesses and things going on. It's like, y'all got to stop stressing. Y'all got to get out this pain. Y'all need to heal. Y'all got to get up out of this trauma. Because once you get up out of that, everything starts to, you kind of go back to your pure self. And remember, we talked about that. That's what I've been doing. I'm like, I done came off of the meat. And that's in that isolation moment that I was just telling Q about. Them 6 months of that isolation, I'll say it might have lasted a year. But during that isolation stage, it was very powerful. It was like, doop, doop, doop. I was checking everything off just to come back to my pure self. So I can reap the benefits of getting that peace. And I was like, I get rid of the meat, my body gonna function better. My skin gonna look better. I'll have more energy. I won't have so many toxins in my system and in my body. If people understand I ain't gonna go too deep into that part because that's a whole nother situation. But if you understand what it can do to you, yeah, you ain't ready for that. Yeah, that's too much. But if they can understand the things that we are intaking and the stuff that we learned, and when you unlearn all of that stuff, how your body can function. Because people say, oh, your skin look pretty. This and this and that. You look younger. You look this. Honey, you have no clue. You got to take away a lot of stuff.
Say that for the next season.
Yeah, for sure. Next season, we're going to have to go and bump on to the holistic side of things of healing. Right now, it's just more of the getting to understand the process of even beginning there, to get there to that point, to say, okay, I can actually start healing now. I let this go and I let this go and I let this go. But that's the shadow work I was telling you about. So you done learned about the shadow work part.
See?
Yeah, you got to tap in.
We just talked about the shadow work. And this is what I'm talking about. See, every time me and you be on, we Q.
Yeah.
Q, I don't know if she told you, but we be getting them downloads. follows, man.
For sure.
My question to the both of y'all was gonna be like, in the space you in now, how often do you gravitate into your either your mistakes or your habits that you place yourself in a position of being in a point where you didn't see yourself, you didn't. Sorry about the motorcycle, y'all.
No.
I thought it was somebody shooting. Get down, cuz.
Yeah, he ain't doing too much, man. You saw yourself in the moment, but you saw yourself doing it how you would have normally did. But now, looking at it now, you can see what tweaks and what changes you would have made on yourself. Like, what moments that hit you the hardest where you saw yourself like that?
I had moments like that. I guess this is probably retarded, but I have moments like that all the time dealing with women. Like I see that habits that I've had before, communication habits or non-communication, maybe you might say, habits that I've gone into with women. I find myself going back into that sometimes because, I mean, we're creatures of habit. So shit that you talking about shit that I'm trying to change that I've been doing for more than 75% of my life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't gonna change automatically. And sometimes I catch myself going into those situations. And I think for me, those situations happen most often with communication with women. That could stem from something else as well, rather than just habit forming. It could be something I got from my old man, which we're obviously resolving, childhood communication issues, because now we talk more than ever. But as a child, I didn't have that father-son relationship that I've seen some of my peers have currently. I'm even willing to say that our generation is doing a lot better job as fathers. And what I mean by that, not just the taking care of the household thing, but actually talking to your kids. Because, like, daddies back in the day would take care of the whole house and be great fathers, but you never had a conversation with your daddy. Ever. Like, you don't even know that dude, dog. He pay the bills and he eat all the chicken.
His
you don't even
plate
know
always
him.
ready.
and you live there. Like, this is a two parent household.
Yep.
And you still don't know him.
Yeah.
So I applaud this generation, because I think we're better at being people as dads. Because before, dads was just the provider. Like, hey, I paid the bill.
And
the
that's
lights
all.
on.
Say that's all you need.
That also makes sense. But think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, think about how the movies were made in your time growing up. What did you see the guy on Family Matters do?
Go to work.
Came home.
Spoke
to everybody.
And he was
and
gone.
In his own world.
Yep.
Uncle Phil was the same way.
Yep. Only show that I would say that showed communication was Bill Cosby. He talked to them.
He did.
He had those kind. Yeah, he did. Uncle Phil, he did. He talked to them a little bit more too. So I will say that.
But it was but see, with Uncle Phil, it was always a situation.
It was always the teachable moment.
Yeah, he was coming to do structure.
Right.
It was a firm hand without the firm hand.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it do.
So you think that automatically that's what dad's supposed to do? Because I remember doing it in my first marriage. Like, I saw it while I was doing it, and I was like, well, ooh, I can't do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was girls in the picture, so I thought, oh, I can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at them like that's why. I mean, I'm not against anybody, but for a dude to really do not take care of his child, I don't understand it. Like the child look at you for protection.
Yep.
Against everything. Mom too.
Yeah.
But, like, come on, man. But in that same space, like, understanding that you go home and you see Al Bundy go home. Al Bundy was one of the biggest shows behind that too.
And he did not want to be bothered with nobody.
Not even Peggy. He like, go away.
Right.
Yeah.
He ain't have no peace. Look how much peace he had. He worked in the shoe store. He dealt with women
day
game
long.
with their feet. And then he come home. Now she already set up for him, but she ain't the piece.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. Because she was nagging the
She
hell out of
nagging
him.
the hell out of it. That's facts.
But we
Damn.
look at Claire Huxtable.
She was the
Claire
piece.
Huxtable, she was the piece for
Claire
Yeah.
was a dog ass wife, bro.
She was. She
Dog
was the
ass
piece.
wife. Yes.
She communicated with them kids. She made sure that Bill knew everything. It wasn't nothing getting past him. She didn't hold
Right.
no secrets from him with them kids. She didn't do none of that stuff. And I said, that's probably about the only show we had that really showed like a structured family and a father actually showing how you supposed to lead and protect and take care of your family and still be able to work, still deal with your wife. Him and Claire always had time. You see how they made time for each other? But they always sat down and communicated. Oh, yeah. Yep. They made the time. They communicated. She expressed how she felt. And he always made sure he was listening. Good listener. You know what I mean?
Even when he didn't want to.
Yep.
Even when he didn't want to. I'm gonna tell you what though. An episode of the Cosby Show that really like I guess as an adult I seen it, and it's the episode when they find the joint in Theo's book and shit, right? So they find the joint in the book, and she kind of go berserk like, he using drugs, this, that, and the third. So Bill like, for real, let me ask him, what happened for real, like let me see what's going on. So they had a conversation with him. And he ended up finding out like his homie had the joint, threw it in his book, and he brought it home, whatever. So like, but the crazy thing about it is like through everything that they instilled in him, he took it upon himself to go tell dog that he left the weed in this thing and bring him back home so his old man could talk to him. And it's just like that kind of communication in families don't really be happening.
No,
so that's why I say I applaud this generation, because I think we're getting better at that. It's a fine line, because I know people want to say, well, you a parent, you're not their friend, but like you don't have to be their friend to have an open line of communication. It's a difference. Like you gotta understand that. Like I don't have to be your friend to have open communication. Exactly.
That's how some people look at it.
Yeah.
And no judge, and not to mean to cut your wisdom. No judge is just do what makes sense. Like does that make sense?
Right.
Because when you're not thinking about it now, but it's gonna be a problem when grandbaby comes through the door.
Yep. Because you got a new generation coming now.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you want to deflect and say, well, I don't want nothing to do with the baby. Like, not saying that's what people are saying, but generally, like, you're trying to get yourself together and you're not grooming what your seed. This is your seed.
Right.
Yep.
You're not watering your seed. You're not nurturing your seed. That's why we so close to nature. We supposed to nurture. The sun nurture everything that we walk on, speak, breathe, everything.
Yep.
But that's that woman. That is that woman. That's she gotta nurture.
Yep. Claire will teach you how to be a nurturer, okay? And a big part of it too with women, with nurturing, that's why I keep pressing healing to be so a big thing, because that's the only way you're gonna learn how to nurture. You have to be peaceful and within yourself so that you will be able, because if you hold that peace in yourself, you can't be nothing but peace to everybody else. You're not gonna give a man no smoke. Nothing at all, because it's different, because that same love you have for yourself, you're able to push it out to him too. Those same needs that you want, you know that he want those too. You know that you want to be complimented, he want to be complimented. He want to eat good, you want to eat good. You know what I'm saying? He want to be at peace and relax and watch his game without nobody bothering him. You want to watch your little shows and do your little thing, you know what I'm saying, without nobody watching. So it's that ping pong back and forth. But that's a lot of sacrificing. It's a whole lot of compromising, and it's a whole lot of communication. And if you don't tell that person what it is that you need from them, and it's okay to have that conversation, they're not a mind reader. They're never going to understand. So you have to tell that person what it is that you need. I expect that from whoever my king may be. Tell me what I need to do for you so I could pour into you the correct way. And it's the same thing vice versa. You gotta have that, and those hard conversations are never being said. Sometimes people don't even know because they haven't had a chance to heal, to find themselves. Once you find yourself and know who you are, you have that opportunity to tell somebody else what it is that you need from them, so that your needs are being met. Because why be in a situation, say for instance, I'm healed, and I don't say this to whoever my king may be and say, oh, I love you to rub my back when I go to bed. If I don't tell him that, my stuff not being met, but whose fault is that? It's mine, because I haven't told you. I haven't asked you or brought it up to you. And that's our other situation. That's those communication barriers that start from when we a kid. You're not taught to be vulnerable and talk. And then I need men to be able to tap into that feminine side sometimes. That feminine side, you got it for a reason. You got a masculine side, you got a feminine side. You have both of those for a reason. So you have your times to use them, just like a woman. You can tap into that masculinity a tiny bit when it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? And your husband, he gonna give you the go when it's time. He gonna say, all right, babe, go ahead. Other than that, he gonna, nah, I got it. Because he's the leader. He's that masculine side. But then when it comes to men with the feminine side, you tap into that when it's time to communicate with your woman on your needs and whatever else that you need, and that talk that you need to have. You should be able to be vulnerable to her without no rebuttal. Nothing behind that. She need to validate your points and listen to you. And that's it.
Sound good.
Yeah. That's fact. Everybody, like, right now is on guard.
Yeah.
Like, you got a shield and you got your sword. And you on guard because you don't pull down your guard until somebody show you something familiar to what you already got, what you already had.
Right.
Yeah.
And the conversation don't get had. Like, you might say, because 9 times out of 10, the few conversations will always be like, okay, so go ahead and give me your history.
Mm-hmm.
What it look like, how many kids, because you're gonna break down the generic. But see, the true conversation, because that person is the representative
Yeah.
for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring truth to the table, the conversation ain't gonna lead to where it needs to be. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
And when you dealing from expectations,
Yep. Just talking about that. Mm-hmm.
like that's really dealing in your emotions, because your expectations set for somebody to be in a certain place for you, and when they're not there, that's on you. You expected that.
Yep.
No expectation, no disappointment.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We just talked about that. Definitely expectations are the worst thing that you can do. And those representatives, of course, we cannot. Those representatives, they can only get so far, and you got to remember that it's a cutoff time for them. I had my representative. Oh boy, I don't think she lasted that long. She lasted temporarily, and then it was like boom, that real person really come out, and then that other person really get to see, oh, this one I'm really dealing with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of time, if you really it really just takes you to, especially the person who's gearing the most at it, who got the most strength in it. If that person just settle down and turn down the volume and just listen, you can really see what's going on.
Yep.
But if you ain't tapped, you won't see.
Nope.
I mean, come on.
It's very. He said, "Come on."
The flash be there, but you just kind of like look past it.
All the time.
For sure.
Because you feel like either you feel like you're gonna fix or you're gonna uphold whatever the problem is until they get better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody is dealing in peace, trying to hold stuff and scared to talk because you're scared of the results and what you're going to get back to. So if I express this to you or I say this to you, are you going to leave me? Are you going to be mad at me? Are you going to be, all of these things get to running through people's head. And then the other thing that taps in, am I going to be alone? I don't want to be alone. I've been abandoned for a long time. I don't want to, it's all of this stuff that run. I went through all of that. And it'll cause you to hold on to a lot of things just because you're scared.
Okay, so I know your story. Let me give you the male version of how it was for me. 8 years in the boat. You know what I'm saying? I did 8 years. I make it sound like time.
Like it was time.
You did, though, yeah. I wasn't gonna say
You
nothing.
know what I'm saying? I did 8 years, and I was in general population for 3, and I was married on paper for 5, and the flesh only 3. So, when it was time, my time to really go, and I think I might have had a little peek on myself and my traits and my circle and how I would do. Because I let a lot of stuff slide. You know what I'm saying? In the first marriage, I let a lot of stuff slide. But in my transparency, just understanding that when it got time for me to sit down by myself, because I kept running. I left 1 time, left 2 times, left 3 times, left 4 times. Every time I left, I sat with myself, but I ain't sit with myself long enough to see myself within myself.
Right.
So when the last time I had to make a decision, my answer came through my grandmama. With no word, just a look. Rest my little baby soul.
Grandmamas be knowing.
Man.
Grandmamas be knowing, bro. They do.
Own it.
Man, so even in that same aspect, I still was holding on to it. So imagine your grandmama telling you in so many ways with no words what you know you need to do, and you still trying to hold on. So I drug it out some more. You know what I'm saying? But when I finally got to the point where I made my decision and I sat with myself, that was like a lonely 3 months.
Right.
That was that isolation stage.
Because, and see the thing about it, I don't know no terms or what it was. All I know was I need to sit down and slow down. Because I was that guy that always had to have a girl everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Go to the movie, gotta have a girl. Go to the club, I'm gonna have a girl or leave with a girl.
Right.
Show up at my family, bringing extra people around my family. My core.
Yeah.
Every time it's a holiday, I'm showing up with a different chick. Boom, hey me out, hey grandma, this such and such. You know what I'm saying? You feel? Like your core is your value space. You don't bring nobody around till you see her.
Yeah.
Because your folks ain't gonna remember names.
Nope.
Right. They really not.
They go, oh, is this such and such? Oh, that was the lad girl that came. So even
Right.
in that same concept though, when I had to sit with myself, it was just me and my dad. And as soon as I came in the house, he looked at me and said, come on in, man, the bed already set up for you. I'm like, ooh. So I'm really gonna be back at the house.
Yeah.
So I had to bite. I'm like, I helped raise her girls. They grown now. I helped raise them. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, she know I got love for it. Nothing against her. She was just my lesson. And I can respect it. And I actually might need to sit down and have that conversation with her and let her know, like, hey, you know, maybe she can see it different. I mean, I know it ain't no bad blood, but what I'm saying,
Right.
it was a lesson for me. And sitting at home, still going to work, head up high, that smile is bright as ever. That's some hard ass shit to go to work.
For sure.
And folks know your energy, and you still getting it to them, but as soon as you clock out and you sit in that car, you like,
Man.
damn, I ain't even going to the house to where my girl at, where my kids at. I'm going on here to be by myself.
Yep.
So understanding that, so this is what it's gonna look like, bro. In order for you to put yourself in a different space, you gotta put yourself in a different place. So you gotta just block out.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I blocked out everything that reminded me of her. I had to kind of block that out. Like, Man, I'm talking about I wasn't eating nothing.
Damn.
Yeah, everybody go through that not eating stage.
I ain't had an appetite. Sometimes I ain't even want to get my shower on.
Yeah.
So nigga walk around with musty balls.
Yeah. You just.
I'm just being transparent.
Right.
Hey,
I feel
my hair wasn't being combed sometimes, okay? Grouchy moment.
All did with him. I was the drunk Rick Ross. That thing was ugly. And in that same aspect, like, every time I came out of the room, my dad would look at me. He won't say much, but I know he like, I gotta leave him alone. I know he know I gotta leave him alone. I see my son going through it because he watched me go through it.
Oh, yep.
I watched my dad go through it. So the connection was there with me and him, and he didn't even have to say a word. What's up now? And he really wasn't down. He was out doing his thing. He was free. He walked away from 27 years of marriage.
Damn.
So
Wow.
sitting in the room, I ain't put no TV in there. So ain't no entertainment. All I had was my phone and my music. So music got me through, but only music can do so much. Sometimes I just needed silence so I could just sit there and lay in the bed. I ain't want to talk to nobody. We ain't got to talk. I ain't even hang with my brother. I ain't hang with my cousin. Why? Because they needed a period to start hearing that shit.
Yep.
They need to start hearing because all you do, you go to all the people, you go to your core and you get a huddle. You like, hey, let me tell you this play, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to leave. Instead of saying, well, how we doing it? I was sending it up like, I'm about to leave, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get out, man. For real. Every time, dog, you about to leave, dog? Like, yeah, man. They call you back. Like, where you at? Oh, I'm at the Howard, man. You know
Yeah.
But in that same space, you playing what you playing yourself. Because that person that you're dealing with going to continue doing what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So in that same space, like, I just knew, like, I ain't come out that room, man. I ain't had no appetite. Like, so my average weight was like maybe 280. Man, I was like 240, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like, my clothes, I was in a large in my pants, large in my shirt. I was a whole new nigga. I didn't wait long enough because I got involved with somebody else, and I knew I wasn't what she wanted. I wasn't what she was on, but she was on something else. But I just rolled with it. But see, that was a Band-Aid situation, you know what I'm saying? And then once I got her off me, then I kind of like focused on getting myself back up.
Yeah.
Start eating like I'm supposed to. Start going to the gym. Like in 2016, you couldn't tell me shit. I was everything.
Yeah. You gotta build that foundation. You gotta stop and build that foundation. That's what you're doing. You building that whole foundation around you and making sure you cover all your bases, but you're not covering them with Band-Aids. You know what I'm saying? You open it up, let the wounds heal, let everything come in, you take it and you process it, push it out and let it go. Like, that's a daily thing for me. I don't care what it is. If I'm in the house, something just didn't tick me off, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm good now. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. I'm not going to take it until tomorrow.
Like, I ain't even eat the same food. Like, you know how the food y'all used to, like, the food, whatever y'all used to eat, I ain't eat the same food no more. Like, I only really ate yogurt, drunk water, and had my fruit. I was on that fasting and any damn no.
Right. Yeah, I went through this thing. I ain't eat for a minute. You go through that it's a little dark hole you going to dip into too for a minute. That little dark hole caused that little depression. And that's about it. Look, they clowning over there where you at tonight. It's Friday night.
Right. He bouncing in a U-Haul, man. Like 19 in U-Haul.
U-Haul.
I'm on the west side of it now. I'm sorry. It's different.
I already know. Well, you got anything else, Q?
No, I think we covered a lot.
We was going in.
We even talked about politics.
I know. You put the politics in there. When you was on YouTube, did you hear everything on YouTube too?
Yeah. YouTube was like, it was bumping. That one when he was like, when somebody said sit in your shit, I'm like, hey, yeah, sit in your shit.
Yeah.
Everybody was sitting in their own shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. We ain't had no questions on there. Probably, how many people was on there?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Man, I don't
no
take
questions
on
on
here. Shoot, I had a couple people. I had a couple people joining. Then I don't know. I think they done went somewhere. I have no clue because I haven't got anything. I haven't got no questions. Let me see. I can go through there. Nope. That's it. Well, it's Friday night. I know people partying and doing their thing. But we'll be able to save this video. Can I save this video? I can post it to Instagram or something?
Yeah, let's go post it. It'll give you the
Okay.
option to post when you hit in.
Yeah, I'll post it on there. Well, bro, I ain't gonna hold you up. I appreciate you tapping in with me real quick.
I appreciate y'all. Hey, man, hey, girl.
I want to do another episode, and when we do that one, I'm gonna have to strictly put that one to everything pretty much that you have learned since you done became tapped in, and we're gonna have to go from there because that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I'm still, man. I got my bill on right now. I'm gonna go ahead and eat some more knowledge.
Yeah, bro,
For
been
sure.
getting fed. He been feeding his soul, man. You got to. Most definitely. Well, I appreciate you. Tell my boo thing I said hello. I seen her walk past and peep a couple of times. Yeah, tell her I said what's up. And
For sure. Thanks for
you
tapping
just
in, bro.
enjoy your night. Q said thanks for tapping in.
All right, ain't no pressure. Anytime, man. Anytime I can be a part of that, man. I'm a part of it.
For sure.
For sure. All right, bro. See you later.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I can.
We talked about a lot of stuff.
And then I could just hit the end button on here, can't I?
Yeah, just hit the end button. Yeah.
All right, you guys. I didn't have too many people sign in today, but whoever did come in and peek real quick, I appreciate you. I will be able to say this video, and you guys will be able to see it later. But have a good night. Thank you. Yeah, we will. So I say in now, and then if you want to live, all right. What I say? Share?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go ahead and share it already. That's fast.
What'd it say?
Yep. And then it's saying I got to do a caption.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Damn, it's going to do the whole 2 hours, though?
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Damn. Okay.
All right. So when can the people expect to hear from you again?
We're going to come back. It'll be the week after next. We're going to take I'm trying to do every other week.
Okay.
Give us a break in between. I don't know if I want to do that one as episode 11 and 12 or, because at the end of each one, I want to make sure I get everybody on if I can, everybody that's been on. So I guess that would be number 12. So
That'd be number 12.
We're going to do Rashad. He's supposed to come on.
Okay.
Come on, bro. Get that schedule together.
Right.
Yep. So we'll be back and tap in the week after next. Flyers will hit the scene and y'all will tap in on me. Thank you. I appreciate everybody that has supported me. Always heads up. And thank you to my producer, Mr. Q Lewis. Y'all need to follow him at q.lewis313.
For sure.
E-Block Radio.
For sure.
Watch him on Monday, Wednesday,
And Friday.
and Friday.
10:15 to 11 a.m.
For sure.
Wake
Y'all,
and Bake Show.
there you go. Y'all can follow my other page as well. You can find me at Purple Lotus Flower 888 on Instagram. And you can also follow me at Candy_Love Lifting. That's LOVLIFTIN. That was lifting. The only reason why I still have lifting under there because I used to lift a lot of heavy weights back in the day. So that was Candy Love Lifting.
Sure.
Now I was lifting people up. How about that? We
There
can
you
use
go.
it for that now.
I like that.
All right. Deuces, I appreciate you.